Good morning. It's Sunday morning. Happy Father's Day to everybody. This is Liz from Kingdom Fleece and Fibeworks. You can find me at Kingdom Fleece and Fibeworks on Instagram, Facebook. Email is info@kffmill.net and same with the website, kingdomfleeceandfiberworks.net. I'm Liz. I have a fiber mill in northern Vermont where we process all sorts of fiber. We make bats, we do mostly roving, and then we work with Bat and Kill they do their spinning and they spin for us, so we get everything done for you. We can also do weaving, we can make blankets, so many different things. If you're thinking of something, we can probably find a way to get it done. So it is Sunday morning, it's Father's Day. I am drinking my second cup of tea. That's really hot. This is my second time. I recorded this yesterday afternoon and I did not like where the camera was. There was way too much crap behind me and it just didn't work. So now this is all my yarn. The yarn that was spun at the mill. So I'm super excited. Yeah, I think no, some of it isn't. The stuff way down those. But all the stuff spun at the mill, and I don't know, I'm super excited. I'm back. I have been gone forever. I think it was after Christmas, Advent. Kids went back to school, and it was just total, like, I just never had a good, it wasn't because I didn't want to, it was because I just didn't have a time. The girls were both home. Emma went to a hybrid school. Our school in Hardwick is not the best at all. And so she was complaining because she wasn't learning anything. So we went to a hybrid solution. She was doing, I think, a couple of days at home for her history and English. And then she was doing science and math at school. So she was either every other day she was home. And then Bethany was doing early college, and she was doing a lot of online classes too. So, and they had opposite schedules. So if Bethany was home, Emma wasn't. If Bethany was gone, Emma was here. So in between that and the mill and working, there was always something going on, and I could never just sit down and talk to you guys. So finally here. Bethany went out for breakfast. She's went out for breakfast. So teenagers. But I finally have a minute, so I was like, okay, now is the time. And I actually wrote down some notes. So I have a lot of new subscribers, so I want to thank everybody that is new and old for following me. Even though I only have I think 200-300 followers, I don't know, but even then, that's still a lot of people if you think about it. If you put 200 people in a room, that's still a lot of people. So I don't know, I'm excited that people are starting to find me. Okay, first FO is the first FO is my ranunculus. I finished it and I'm so excited. I have held off for so long making these. Everybody and their brother has made these, and for some reason I don't know. I don't know if it was just because I guess I'm slow to the game. But I needed something quick and easy, and I wanted something summery. Well, even though this isn't really that summer, it's fingering weight mohair. It looks redder than it is. It's red, but it has an orangey. I did a red. That's what happened to me right here, and this is the last one. But I did this with it, and I love this thing. I actually just threw it in the washer and the dryer on delicate cold water, and it came out perfect because it was I had blocked it out after I finished it, wore it a few times, and it was just kind of stretched out. So I threw it in the washer with gentle cycle, dryer, low heat, and it came out perfect. It's a little more cropped than I would have liked, but I have high-waisted leggings on and that seems to be fine. I think for the next one I would just go a little bit longer for me, but that's okay. So I'm super excited that I have an F out because if you know me, it takes me forever to finish anything. The next thing I have is this scarf. Oh, where is it? Hang on. Okay, I found it. Sorry. The next one is a friend of mine, Lorianne. She is on Instagram. Lorianne Love Turtle. I knew I'd mess that one up, so I want to make sure. But she is a very prolific knitter. She knits like crazy fast. I follow her on Instagram. She always does Instagram live, so if you are not following her, definitely go check her out and follow her. But she went to my booth and she loved all my yarn, but she's like, you need some more samples, which I do. So if anybody wants to knit samples for me, let me know because I would be very happy. I don't know. Let's see, I'm trying to figure this out and it's not going to go with this. But this is a little shawlette by, I wrote it down, so it's called Elizabeth. That's the pattern, and it's called by Carrie Markin. But it's super cute. It's just a little shawlette, and I think I would use it more as a little scarf, almost like the Sophie scarf, actually. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It would be not obviously in this, with this outfit, but I think, I don't know, I think it would be a super cute, I'd have to figure out how to do it. But yeah, it's super comfy. It's got it out. This is out of my yarn. Oh, I didn't even mention the ranunculus is my Cozy Toes and my mohair. And then this one is out of my own base, and I have to, here it is, right here. This one is the yarn, and it is the Cozy Worsted, and it's the Dorset Corriedale alpaca blend. And this has a super little, and it's actually that sweater too. The sweater's out of that too. But yeah, so I think this would be a perfect little scarf, like a Sophie scarf, one of those that everybody's making. I think it's a little bit wider, but it really came out super nice. So I cannot wait. I'm gonna probably put it on her and put it on there, and I think it'll be perfect. So thank you so much, Lorianne, for knitting that, and I appreciate that so much because I definitely don't have enough time to knit everything. Okay, so these are Woolens and Nosh, and they have dog hair on them. Woolens and Nosh. I don't remember the colorway because I'm bad at that stuff. I never know where. That's a little bit better. And this is the Andrea Mowry's DRK Everyday Socks that are the DK weight. Backwards. But I have one. I want them like once or twice or something. They're this toe-up socks. I really liked the cast on, was super easy. That part I liked. I did not like all the ripping. I think the next time I would do is I don't know, like, and I liked how you did the Flegel heel, but then I just don't like how it looks. I like the heel flap better. So, and I'm still partial to toe up. I mean top down. The cuff down. There's just something about them. I don't know. I think I like the cuff look, the look of the cuff when you are, I don't know. I think it looks better instead of the binding off part of it. I haven't figured that out. I think it looks funny. This one came out okay. This one kind of flared out, and that's the why I don't like the toe up. This one I did the bind off that I can't remember ever that Andrea Maury does for all of her, like the ribbed ones. And it does have a really nice finish to it, and I like that part of it, but I don't know. I like how they fit. I definitely like how the Fleegle heel fits. I need to put them on my feet. Cozy. Okay. The other thing that I finished that are right here, and they're really dirty, so I'm gonna just show you the tops of them. There's even stuff in here. But they are little slippers that I made. They're felted. I did these two. They are, I'm gonna put it in the somewhere right here probably. 19 row slippers or something like that. Can't remember if it was a paid for pattern or if it was free. If it wasn't super expensive. But it was super easy. They were literally 19 rows. I held worsted weight double. I had a bunch of worsted weight yarn that nobody, it's been just hanging out and nobody bought it. So I was like, I want to make some felted slippers. I want my feet warm, even for the summer. I don't know, when we're used to radiant heat, and so when the heat's going, our feet are always warm, so we don't need them, but these are something light. They're like kind of like having a little belly slipper sock. They're super, I don't know, they're even like when it was hot, they're still cozy to have on your feet. So I don't know, it's been nice. I definitely want to make more of them, but they did hurt my hand. Like my knitting. Let's see here. The next thing is half finished objects. I have a couple of, I just touched the camera, sorry. I have a couple of these. These, I was trying to make samples. Again, slow knitter. So I decided to knit some sock samples. This right here behind me on this second shelf is all my Chevy sock yarn. And it is Cheviot wool, all grown in Vermont, blended with nylon. So I decided to make some samples, and this is one of the samples that I made up. It's just a shorty sock. I think I did 20, no, it's not even, I don't even think so. I want to say 15 for the ribbing, 2x2 ribbing. Then I did 10, then a heel, toe, and cuff, just slip stitch heel, then foot, and just a regular toe. I don't know what you want to call that, but so yeah, so I have one of them done. I love how this fits. This is like the best fitting sock I've ever had. I've only put it on my foot once because I don't want to ruin it. I'm working on the other one. But yeah, I think I was either not using a tight enough gauge before, or just, I still use 64 stitches, and I don't know if I should go down. I go down in the foot because my feet are really narrow. I have really high arches. So every sock that I try doesn't ever work out. Well, they all work out good, but the high arches always screws me up. So heel flap and gusset are definitely top down, cuff down seem to be. Okay, on to whips. I didn't think I had done that much, but apparently I've done more than I thought. Okay, I'm trying to do this and not pull everything out, so bear with me. Okay, this is my daughter's blanket. She knows about it. It's not a surprise because there's no way I can hide this. But she graduated, so now she just wants her blanket. It is huge. Let's see here. I don't even know if I can do this. Okay, I'm holding this up to my eyes, and I can still touch the ground. So there's no way in heck am I going to, and that's just one side of this. It keeps going and going and going, and I can't even hold this with my hand. I'm going to pull it all out. But you get the idea. I have like, I'm guessing maybe a foot to go. I keep saying a foot because I feel like now that it's so big, it doesn't feel like it's ever growing, but I know it is. So I think the last few days I've put are like 6 inches, and that was when I said it was a foot. So I have probably, I don't know, I'll say another foot to go, and then she can have it. Sorry, I'm trying to not step on everything, but it's actually kind of snuggly. Now it's all tangled in my... Okay, so yeah, so that blanket is what we're working on right now. So I'm trying to get that finished for her. That is my priority right now, is to finish that. That is my major whip, and will be so excited when this is off from the needles. And it's going to be really hard to... My other daughter wants a blanket now too, and has picked out the pattern. Thankfully, I convinced her, because I'm so sick of this blanket. As much as I loved it, I need a break. I convinced her to do some squares. I think they're different squares. I wanted the crochet Battenberg blanket, but she said no. She said she's a very OCD kid that wants everything in sort and order, and she said it would drive her crazy that all the squares were different. So I forget what pattern she picked out, but it was another one squared. So I'm hoping I can just make squares, stitch them together slowly. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because then I feel like that's going to be a pain in the butt too, but I'm hoping if I stitch them together as I go, it'll be okay. We'll see. Let's worry about that after this is done. So that is one whip. The next whip is, I don't even know what I will have to put it on here too. This is all big box, all superwash, kind of fiber, acrylic, worsted weight, because I wanted it to be big and quick. And I'll put down on here what hook I'm using, because I don't even remember. It's upstairs. I didn't bring the hook with me, but they're my super cute. They've got like the polymer clay handles. I really like those, and if I can find out where I got them, I will put that in there. But the second thing I'm working on is my other sock. I have the other sock too, this one, and I am down onto the foot. So for these ones, I did the same thing. 15-inch, like I think 15 or 20 stitches for the cuff, 2x2 ribbing, then 10, then a slip stitch heel and flap and gusset. And I think I'm using kind of the Crazy Sock Lady recipe, one of her sock patterns, and I'm not even using the pattern. I'm just using it for like the numbers. So I can't even remember which one, but it was for Crazy Sock Lady. So that one, and then just onto the foot. So I'm really liking how they're fitting, so I'm super excited about that. And that is my Chevy sock. That's all on the website if you're interested. It is right there. And it's going to be a lot more durable than merino. That's why we picked Cheviot and merino nylon. We'll give it some strength in there. They have that. The next whip I am working on, same bag, I'll get to that, is, let me see if I can find the pattern. I have here it is. Vetus. My Latin wants to say Vetus, but it's Vetus. I'm not good at that. But it's a lot of short rows, so I think it looks fun. I'm actually excited. I just started this last night. It's been in my bag with the sock forever, but I just haven't, I keep thinking I'm gonna have time to sit down and start working on it. I haven't, so I always bring it with me just in case I have time. And why am I looking for, oh, Lisa Much. So that's a pattern by Lisa Much, and she has some really cool shawl patterns. So that's on, and I wanted something simple that I didn't have to like think about. So short rows, I think it'll be super fun. So these are my yarns. This is another one that's in my yarn right behind me. It is these, actually it's these two, I think. It's these two. It's, yeah, the gray is coming out pinker than I was expecting it to be. But these are the two yarns that I'm using. Do I have colorways on them? Bugs Bunny and Tahiti. So those are the two yarns that I'm using. Oh, that's better. They're both upside down. But, and that is our 3-ply. It's fingering 8 3-ply Dorset. So it's 100% Dorset, 3-ply, super nice and I don't know, it's really soft. So if you don't know it, Dorset is surprisingly nice. Some people, what just fell? Okay. I'm a mess. But yeah, so I have these ones balled up, and this is what I have so far. This is literally from, oh, and I even showed you the right side. I'm not usually good at that. I usually show the wrong side. But yeah, so this is what I have done so far. I'm excited. I'm really liking how it's coming out. Like I said, the gray is like coming out pinker, but I think when you have bigger sections of it, it'll change. So right now you're just doing the outside and I had to do this for a while because this is just increasing up until 100 and something stitches. So I have a ways to go. But now that I know what I'm doing and it's just repetition, I don't even need a pattern. I can just keep going on and on and on until we get to the right stitch count, and then you go to the next section. So I think that's going to be super fun. So now I have a sock that I can take with me because it's just on the foot. I have this. So yeah, super to go project. And with being summertime, I think that's what I need to have. So this is all in my bag. This is my new favorite bag maker. I love these bags. We got them in Connecticut. It's by, I'm gonna say this, HWD Creations. And we bought them at Connecticut. She was next to us. She was a new bag maker. She had only been to, I think, one other show maybe, and her name is Beth. So if you ever watch this, I'll say hi. I'm super excited. But yeah, these are such nice bags. I'm trying to get things organized, but they have so many pockets. This is a pocket right here. Then there's another pocket here. I think there's a pocket on the inside. And this, for the size of this, I can fit 2 balls of yarn and my socks in there, which this is not a full ball, but that's in there. And then I fit my phone in there. I fit all the little things I need in there. So it's perfect. And then it all zips up at first. Hang on one second, I gotta get my fingers to work. Yeah, it zips up so it has a cover so nothing can fall out, but it does have openings on each side, like, and that's why I was kind of confused at first, but it's perfect because then you can still have, like, your yarn can go through this side, you can stick your hand in and get something, but things aren't falling out. I don't know, I'm just really loving this. Next up, I think, is like just going to spinning, and I've been spinning a whole bunch. For some reason, summer is always a spinning time for me. I think it's because it's too hot to be knitting and like have big knitting on your blanket, you know, like it's warmer. So spinning is something I can do on my porch, on the deck, you know, I can take it places, like bring my wheel with me. So I don't know, I've just been spinning more. So I've been trying to do that, and I've been trying to do some spindle spinning. So that is what I've been up to. My first bottom, I finished this one, and this is like, I don't know. So this is my bobbin that I finished, 4 ounces. And when I was at, I think it was New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, I just wanted something to spin, so I grabbed a bag of this, and now I'm in love with it. Love the colorway, and I needed another one. I don't have any, so I was totally bummed. This is the only 4 ounces of this I have. So I was totally bummed. I've searched everywhere trying to find 1 or 2 bags of this because it's so pretty. And I knew everybody else was going to like it too. So apparently everybody at the festival liked it and bought it all. So that was one of them. Then so I don't get bored, I decided to sorry, I was watching something out the window. I wanted to start another bump of bag, or whatever you want to say, of roving. So I started spinning this. This is, well, I don't even know. It's merino CVM. I think it has bamboo in it. So I have that one. I started that. I'm not really enjoying the spin, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of textured yarn, and this has some textured stuff in it. So if you like textured, you'd like it, this combo. But I like it more, smooth, I guess you want to say, with no texture stuff in it. But this one does have it. So I'm having a little, I don't know. It's from our mill, but we put some textured stuff in there to have some, but I'm just not used to it. So I think that's what it is. But I walked away from it after I spun up a bunch of it, walked away, and then came back, and I'm really liking how it looks. So even though I'm not liking this spin, I'm really liking how it looks. And I will put a picture of it here if I can, of how it looks, because it's spinning up really nice. And I think between that and this, and I'll tell you in a minute what it's for, but I do have a project in mind, so I'm thinking. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to combo spin both of these. So I think I'm going to find something. If I can't look up my recipe, because they never come out exactly the same. If I can't find something, I think I'm going to either do something similar to this, or I'll do a combo spin for sure. But I'm going to find another fiber that goes with this. Actually, I was thinking about, it's got brighter blues in it, but let me see if I can find it. I have a whole bunch. Sorry for the twinklings. This one. It's got some, it looks really purple, but it's not that bad. But I was kind of thinking of a combo spin of, like, I don't know. This one's, it's got, I don't think this is way brighter than it looks in real life. So I don't know. I was kind of thinking of that. That might actually be fun now that I'm looking at it. I think myself. So I usually weigh them out in 2-ounce bats. This one's way shinier. This is definitely not the same as the other one. I don't know which one this is. This one is like way shinier. But maybe it'll help. I don't know. Maybe it is. But I think it kind of will go. That might actually be nice as second ply. I think it'll be fun. So I think I might do that. I don't know if I have any more of this. Maybe. If I do, I'll put it on the website. So I have that. So I think that's going to be 1 ply. And then the one, where'd my basket go? This one, I'm going to do a combo spin for this one too, seeing that I'm not the textured person. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a combo spin with this one, another one. And I have no idea what I'm going to do for the other color for this one. So that's going to be my spinning. So I'll figure that out, and then yeah, we'll go there. I think that's it. We have spin. Oh no, one more thing. My spindle. Oh my god, I'm loving this. This is Alan Berry. He hand carves all of these spindles. Everybody on Wool and Spinning on our Slack channel talks about him. Rachel loves him. She does a lot of support spindling, and I have not figured it out. And I don't know if it's because of my hand, but I just can't figure it out. So I got a drop spindle. You can pick out anything, and I just told him. I asked the kids. I was asking my girls what I should make for him to carve. So my daughter said, of course, she said a cow. So because we have the steers and stuff, so yeah, she wanted a steer. So he came up with, hopefully, can you see that? I think it's super cute. Oh, it looks like the one from like the commercials and stuff, I think, but super cute. So in this thing is a little over an ounce. It spins so good. I don't know how or what, but and it's way lighter than I was when I see them pictures. I was expecting them to be heavier and stuff, but no, they're not. And it spins so good. So I can't wait to get another one. I am definitely putting in an order one. I can see why everybody loves them. And they're really reasonably priced, and they're all handmade, and you're supporting him. So that's even better. So that's great. I think the next one we're going to do is either going to have a maple leaf on it for the sugaring, and then another one that we were thinking about because we have the beagles and hunting and all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking of a beagle chasing a rabbit, and I think that would be cute too. So I haven't decided which one I want, but I think that's going to be my next one. I definitely want another one. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So that is my next thing. And I think after that is just going to be shop updates, mill announcements, all that kind of stuff is going to be next. We have so much going on right now. It's crazy busy. I'm putting this on my lap because it's snuggly. But yeah, there's a ton going on right now, and it's a little overwhelming. So the first thing, the biggest news is that we got accepted to Eastern States Exposition to be a vendor there. And if you've never heard of Eastern States, it's definitely a New England thing. If you think of like a state fair on steroids, is pretty much what it is. So I don't know what other state fairs are like, but so what it is all the New England states get together and kind of combine it into one big state fair. It's 3 weeks long. Over 1 million people go through the gates. And so in the fairgrounds, every state has their own state building. So like Maine has a building, Vermont has, Massachusetts, they all have their own their own buildings. So I got accepted into the Vermont building to be a vendor there and represent the state of Vermont. So it's a super big deal, and so excited about it. But then I didn't think I would ever get in, and then when they accepted me, I was like, okay, kind of had a heart attack. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. So I'm kind of rallying, and I was like, okay, we can do this. I'll be there for a week, so I'm not going to be there for all 3 weeks. There's no way I'd be able to do 3 weeks. There's no way my brain could do 3 weeks or have enough product. But first thing was that not everybody going through the gates they're not all gonna be knitters, spinners, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna do a lot of educational stuff as well. And so I asked Muriel's from Vermont. I asked her and a few other people that I'm not going to name until they're definitely a go. But I asked Muriel's, and she makes finished garments, so she was definitely all for it. So she's going to be there. We're going to have so many things. We're going to start. The first thing we're going to do is have a whole educational part as to what the whole process is, how long it takes to make everything, because a lot of people coming in at the fair are not people that are knitters, spinners, fiber people, and have no idea how long it takes to make all of these things. And they don't know they exist either. That's the other thing, is they have no idea that this is out in the world or that you can do this. So we are going to have a little of everything. We're going to have a how-to from raw fleece all the way up until yarn and finished garments. So we'll have all the processes that I do. Then we'll have what we're going to see, get some videos from Bat and Kill showing the spinning process. And then Muriel's, they make finished garments. They have really fancy knitting machine, 1 or 2 of them now. I think they just got another one. And they make beautiful sweaters, all made in Vermont from yarn that me and Bat and Kill have made. So it's super exciting. So it's going to be all the things that we can, like, people can get in Vermont. Then we're going to have Lucy. She's going to start working for me. And she's also a weaver. And so she wants to do more production weaving. And so she's going to start weaving blankets, some other, like, I'm trying to think, scarves, like all that kind of stuff. Anything woven, she's going to be working on that. And it's going to be Vermont made yarn. And we're going to be able to, there's no way we're going to be able to supply like that many finished goods for the show. It's going to be more a, if you see things you like, you can get them for Christmas. You can order them. You can take pre-orders while we're at the show, and we'll have samples there. And then the other thing, we're going to do some fun needle felting kits. We're going to have punch needle kits, spindling kits. We have some of those now. Of course, all the yarn, all the roving for hand spinners, knitters, all that stuff's going to be there too. All in a 7-foot by 20-foot space. So we are going to have a full booth. But I think with that, when you're talking to that many people all day, I think it's like open for 13 hours a day, and we're there for 7 days. Or no, 5 days. Well, I'm there for 7, but we'll be vending for 5. From September 15th to the 20th, we'll be there. It's going to be a lot of talking, and so I'm going to need as much help as I can. So I think it's super cool because we're including everybody, and none of it can happen without the other people. You know, they can't have their finished goods without me doing the washing and the carding and Bat and Kill doing the spinning. And so I think it's just going to be a great way of everybody working together and showing how much work it takes to make all these finished garments and finished things. And it's all made right here in Vermont, all from Vermont wool. So it's super cool. So I think that's one of the biggest things we're going to be doing. And just real else, the next thing that we're going to be doing, that's going also, well, most of the summer splash pad party is going on now from Jennifer Lasan, and I'm a sponsor over there. So we have prizes to give away from the splash pad party, and that's why I cast on my small things, my socks and my shawl and all that stuff. So that's going to be on this, that's part of the splash pad party. It's going to be more like things you can take to the beach or the pool, small things that are like to go, you know, summer projects. So I think that's going to be fun. We have those things going on, and we'll be doing some prizings with that. There's also, the last thing is Woolen Spinning Rachel, which I'm a huge follower of. I love all of the things that she does. She comes up with so much content, and I don't know how she does it. But her, and I think it started on Slack channel. Somebody made one, and then everybody decided they wanted to all do one. So she contacted Andrea Mowry, and she agreed. And so we're going to do a Detoon shawl, spin it to knit it along. I think, it's kind of a tune shawl along, I think is what, or knit along or spin along or whatever you want to say. So yeah, so we're going to be spinning the fiber. So that's all the spinning that I'm doing is for that. And if you haven't seen the Attune shawl by Andrea Mowry, it's a really cool, super big, like most of her patterns are brioche and fisherman's rib, which I'm not strong in either one of those, so I figured this is a really good repetitive way of getting used to doing both of those things, and I think it'll kind of muscle memory get it into me. And so I'm going to start spinning for that. I think it's going to be super fun. And I love having those squishy things. You know, it's going to be a perfect winter. I don't know. It's going to be big enough that I don't know if you'd want to wear it under your coat, but over, like, when you're sitting in your chair or at home, it's just one of those shawls that looks so comfy. Put it on the couch. I know my kids will steal it. So I think that's what I'm going to be making. So that's the Attune shawl. So there's the Biggie is happening. The splash pad is happening. The Biggie is not till the fall. That's in September, but we have a lot of getting ready to. And then the Attune shawl. So with all of these things going on, my mind is like going crazy because I have so many things that I need to get ready for. We will see. And so I think that's it. I have a few life things that have been going on. Bethany graduated high school, so she is done. Emma graduated 8th grade, so now she's a freshman, which is crazy. I cannot believe that. I'm trying to think of all the things that I've been doing. We finished one of our dogs. John and Emma, I'm kind of on the sidelines, but they do a lot of dog trials and stuff like that. And so she's a field champion. They're actually at nationals this weekend. That's where they are. Oh shoot, hang on. My dad's calling. Sorry, Dad. Okay, sorry. That was my dad. I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah. So they're out in New York at a field trial. I made some jelly yesterday. A friend of mine, Sandy, she's been making her jelly, and so I said, okay, I made some, not last year, the year before, and we were getting almost out, so we went and I grabbed some berries. So I made some strawberry and some blueberry. The blueberry came out excellent. I had it on my toast this morning, and the strawberry is another story. I messed that up. I didn't follow the directions. I was talking to Sandy and not paying attention, and I put things in the wrong order. So now I have strawberry sauce, but it is delicious. So we are going to be able to put it on ice cream, and we're going to be able to put it in our yogurt, and so we'll have plenty of that. And then I'm going to get some more strawberries, and then I can make it the right way. So we'll have some of both. And then the other thing, my kids really like raspberry. So the raspberry season hasn't started yet, and we've a lot of people around here that have raspberry bushes, so I'm not worried about that. So that was the other one. So now that I've got it figured out, we'll be good to go. I'm trying to think of what else. And gardening, John put in 3 raised beds. He actually went down where he's a caretaker for a big, huge place, and was cleaning out some logs, and he took down some big, I was thinking like cedar, like he said cedar posts, but these are like trees, like huge trees, and made so that way they don't rot. And then he screwed them all together and they're like probably a foot high, I guess, 10 inches high, foot high, big raised beds, which are super cool because they're like, he's like, I'm doing this once, I don't want them, they'll never rot. So I'm waiting for my topsoil to come. I will play by ear. I'm gonna call around, but topsoil is crazy expensive, and we have such crappy soil here. We can't even use ours. It's so sandy and just gross. We're on the top of a hill, so it's all gravelly. So I definitely need to get some. But yeah, so that's what we're working on. I'm gonna fill in all this rain. We can't do anything right now anyway, so I'm waiting for everything to dry out. So hopefully tomorrow it'll be dry it out a little bit, and then we can get some. There's a farm down the road, so I'm going to see what they have and see what we can get from them, and hopefully we'll get, I have tomato plants, I need to put them in the ground, so I need to get them in the ground. And yes, it probably seems too late for the people that don't live in Vermont, but this is gardening in northern Vermont, that we have to do what we can because our gardening season is really short. So we will get that done. I'll at least have them started. I can probably do some fall things in this fall. And there's a mosquito in here, and I don't want mosquito bites. But yeah, so I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. I am hiring somebody. If anybody's local in Vermont and is looking for a job, I am hiring somebody for washing, a little of everything. Washing, it's part time. Do some washing, picking, carting. You kind of learn the ins and outs. So if you're looking for a part time job and you're local and you don't have to drive a million miles, give me just drop me a message, and maybe it'll work out for everybody. So I am doing that. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. It is going to be a long one because it's been a while, but I'm hoping next time it's going to be an interview with Laura and her son Cyrus from Muriel's of Vermont that makes the sweaters. I'm going to try and do my first interview with her, and hopefully that will be soon. I'm hoping this week we can figure that out, and then we'll have another one right after another. That's going to be crazy. But yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be. I knew this one because it's been so long that there was no way I could do both in the same thing. So I will be putting something up for that, and then we'll start chatting with some other people. I think that's going to be really fun. We're going to do some, and they're all going to be super informal, but different customers, different things that they do. I think that'll be the best part. So I will talk to you soon, and I will see you later. If you haven't signed up, sign up for an email. Definitely get on the website, sign up for the email, so that way you can get all the updates, any kind of deals. And that's the one thing I'm going to do, is I do want to do a giveaway, but I don't want to attract all the bots, people, the sketchy things. So just make a comment in the I don't know, just say hi. Okay, just put a comment if you're interested in some spinning fiber. This one's just we'll do this one for spinning, okay, because a lot of it's for the spinning part, so we're gonna do in summertime. But I am going to do a giveaway for this one, so if you are interested, drop me in the comments, say hi. Yeah, say hi. I can't even think of anything else you want to say, but just make a comment if you're interested, and then I will put you in the running. Okay, I will talk to you soon, and I hope you have a great day, great Sunday, great Father's Day. Okay, I will talk to you